Nowadays, film is central to our vocabulary, and it's hard to imagine a world without it. However, this wasn't always the case, you see. Go back 100 years and it was merely a thought, an idea. Back then though, film was only accessible in cinemas. But since then, as the world has developed and grown, this has led to the introduction of TV, DVDs and streaming, which gives you a lot more option as a movie lover. However, cinema has stood the test of time, but is it still as strong? So our investigation brings me here to Empire Cinema in Swindon, and we'll be investigating whether cinema is still relevant in today's society. Come on. The history of cinema and film isn't clearly defined, and no one really knows who created it. But it's highly regarded the Lumiere brothers' short films in Paris, 1895, is regarded as the breakthrough of projected cinematography and motion pictures. Though cinema has had to change and adapt to stay relevant throughout the years. For example, most cinemas are introducing IMAX screenings. I would say that cinema is not just about watching films. It's about the experience.
I do remember going to the cinema a lot when I was young, and I used to walk to the local cinema, and me and my mates used to go there 3, 4, 5 times a week, and we just used to enjoy the whole experience. So we'd go for a film and then we'd go out for something to eat afterwards, we'd have a chat about the film and we'd talk about it all the way home, and it would be summer nights as well, so late nights.
Last year alone, there was a total of 801 cinemas in the UK, and on average, 2 more are built every single year. However, cinema is no longer the main way people choose to watch films, as recently, there's an easier, cheaper, and more accessible way to watch films. This, of course, is streaming. But why does everyone prefer streaming now to the cinema?
Easier. I guess it's just more laid back, you can do it at home, you don't have to worry about getting a good seat at the cinema. I just think it's kind of boring at the cinema at times, as you just have to wait, but when you're kind of streaming you can just start it when you want and stop it at the same time, and take toilet breaks easier. So at the cinema, obviously, if you go for a toilet break you might miss a crucial scene in the film, but obviously with streaming, you don't.
Much more better, cheaper. You go to the cinema, it costs you per person £11 per person. You can manage if you're going to bring 3 person, plus you buy food, and that can cost you at least $50 for each travel. You see me, you pay £5, £6 for Netflix, and it lasts for a month, and you can enjoy yourself and stay home, cost no parking ticket, nothing at all.
Because it's only a small amount of money per month, and I think that's why people like it, because actually you don't notice it coming out too much. But it's definitely getting bigger.
Streaming services have become a lot more popular and present in today's society in the last few years. For example, Netflix has over 81 million subscribers, and the average person on their site watches 3.8 films a week. That's impressive numbers considering the average person normally only goes to see 1 or 2 films a month at the cinema. But streaming services and people who do stream regularly normally get a bad rep, as some people in this world illegally stream things for free, which hurts not only cinemas but the streaming services themselves.
I know it's harsh because it shouldn't be the right thing to do, but it's so easily accessible to everybody. I can see why people do it, because again, you can just sit in the comfort of your own home and watch anything you want right there and then.
The penalty for illegally streaming up to 5 years in prison or a £5,000 fine, and maybe if more people knew, be deterred from this.
Absolutely, I think if more people knew about the consequences of streaming, such as the fines, they would think twice about streaming, which begs the question why they don't. I'd be interested to find out why more is not being done to let people know about the consequences.
But when it comes to viewing habits, they have definitely changed. And will cinema survive? Only time will tell.